Hello friends, myself Dr. Sarath Kumar Sonkar, working as an assistant professor in the Department of Library and Information Science, Baba Saheb Bhimrao Ambedkar University, Lucknow. Today, I decided to share with you regarding open educational resources. So friends, I am going to share some open access resources which are very useful for online learning as well as in the changing situation we are suffering from the COVID-19. In this situation, how we can improve our learning, how we can engage ourselves in teaching and learning. So friends, I'm going to share my screen through. I'm going to give a very nice presentations. So so now you will see the screen which I'm showing to you. So you know that why this internet is very useful nowadays, because see, whatever we need we are just approaching to internet. If you want any information related to the your study material, your decision making, or for anything, we are just approaching to the internet. Why we are approaching to the internet? Because we have so many resources on the internet, and open access has facilitated us to receive any information anywhere without any barriers. So when the concept was popularized, so in 21st century, the concept of open access was very much popularized related to the internet information, and it is very useful, and anybody can download, share, use, reuse information from anywhere. So open access basically defined by the Budapest Open Access Initiative. Open access means free availability on the public internet, permitting any user to read, download, copy, distribute, print, search, or link to the full text of these articles, crawl them for indexing, post them as a data to softwares, and use them for any other lawful purpose without financial, legal, or technical barriers other than those inseparable from gaining access to the internet itself. The only constant on reproductions and distributions, and the only role of copyright in this domain should be taken to the author's control over the integrity of their work and the right to be properly acknowledged and cited. Means if we are using open access sources, we can use, we can modify, we can alter, but we have to properly acknowledge the resources. So what about the user open educational resources? The term was first adopted by UNESCO in 2002 in the Forum of the Impact of Open Courseware for higher education in developing countries, and they define open education resources are teaching, learning, and research material in any medium, digital or otherwise, that reside in the public domain or have been released under the open license that permits no cost access, use, adaptation, and redistribution by other with no or limited restrictions. So now come to the type of publishing. There are two types of publishing. One is called green open access and another is called gold open access. Green open access publishing allows you to upload your post print document in the any kind of repository. It may be discipline specific repository, it may be institutional repository, it may be self repository. So here you need are required to pay anything for the deposit of your post print content in the repository. The second type of open access publishing is the gold open access publishing. In this publishing, the publisher itself starts journals for the journals in the open access environment. So what author has to do, he has to publish their articles in the open access platform, but here someone has to pay for it, pay for the processing fee, as a processing fee, whether his author is going to pay or his institution is going to pay or some funding agency is going to pay, so someone has to pay. So this is one way to publish the gold open access. Now we are come to the point of what are the features and benefits of the educational resources. There are a lot of features of educational resources which are free of cost. You think about that. This first feature is affordability. We can afford it. Otherwise, you think about when you are in school days or college days, and if you want to take a book from the bookshop, you need to pay for it. But in case of the open access, you need not require to pay a single penny for it. So friends, if you want to use, share information, go for the open access. And it's, most of things is free from the copyright. It's publish all the information in the common creative license. So here you have to just download, reprint, use, reuse, distribute among your peer groups. So a most benefit advantage of the open access resources or educational resources is that you get wider publicity and recognition of your research. Wider publicity and recognition of research will help you to get more citation. When you get more citation, you are more popular. Your institution also get more popularity with your work. So it's very important, it's very useful that you should publish your research in the open access environment. And most benefit advantage that the open access is to remove the barriers, all kind of barriers. See, if like in closed access we are watching that this is the article, but we we can't use. Why we can't use? Because we have to pay for it. Publishers don't allow you to access the information. So what you have to do, you have to just look at that's all, and you have to think that how to get the articles. But in case of the open access, there is no barrier. You can access anytime, anywhere, and there is only one computer and internet connection. So open access resources also is very useful, and there is no embargo period. Embargo period means like some publishers, they are allowing access in the free of cost after 1 year or 2 year or 3 years. So this is the period where you may not be able to access your published articles. But in case of the open access resources, there is no embargo period. If it is published immediately, all the users, students, research, faculty members can access all the information. So now come to the points of the see, most of things is availability and accessibility. Open access resources are available always, accessible always. You need not require to wait for anything. N number of users can access simultaneously and use it. And one more advantage of the open access resources is that you can provide a number of the copy to your student. You can share in your students group, you can share your peer groups, you can share. So it's also allowed to wider publicity and visibility. So one more advantage of the open access resources are open education resources are that it is developed in collaborative environment. Collaborative environment means your resources, suppose you are developer, you develop the resources. One team will evaluate your developed resources. Then there is one team which will support you technically for recording, streaming, etc. So these resources develop in collaborative efforts. So this is very useful that when you have the content in the multimedia formats. One more advantage of the open access resources is authenticity and reliability. It's very reliable, very authenticated because the course content is developed by the best teacher of the India. Best, best teacher of the India, like MOOC. See, more than 1,000 best teacher of the India have developed the course contents. And the contents after developing, it's evaluated by some expert, then they have hosted on the platform. So it's a most useful and reliable, authenticated information you can get from the open educational resources. So it's enhance the course materials and it fill the gap of the teachers. Gap of the teachers for those institutions like the NPTEL programs developed by the engineering college students, because see, all the colleges are unable to offer the opportunities for faculty members. They can't afford to have excellent faculties in their colleges because they have to pay more for the teachers like IITs, IIM, IITs. So but the NTPL National Program for Enhanced Teaching and Learning, and so they are just offering information through that programs to all the students studying in the engineering colleges. So they are also help to filling the gap of the teachers. Also later. So now I have mentioned here some open access resources like Swayam. Swayam is a platform where you can access the MOOCs, Swayam Prabha. Then you can also access Sodh Ganga, then NPTEL, National Program on Teaching on Technology Enhanced Learning. Then also access the National Digital Library, then EPG Pathshala, e-Grantha, virtual labs, spoken tutorials, talk a teachers. These program or education resources you can access to the SWAYAM platform. Another is DOAJ and DOAB, then DOAR and TKDL. These resources have separate their own websites. These are not through the SWAYAM platform. So you have access of these resources from the SWAYAM platform. So now come to the eGyan course. eGyan course, as you all are aware that these are information education resources offered by the IGNOU, and more than 3,000 learners are accessing these high quality resources. And you can see that all the course materials are available on the websites. You can access to the GAN course. So this is the website of the GAN course. Now come to the SWAYAM. SWAYAM is very important platform. It was launched by our Honorable Mr. Narendra Modi, Prime Minister of India, in year 2017. So it is a platform which helps the students, help the faculty member, help the learner to access more than 1900 courses. So these are the platform. Even though if you see in the platform of the SWAYAM, they have mentioned more than 500 courses, but you go to it in different where you will get that you have more than 1900 courses available in the SWAYAM platform. And these courses are supported by the 9 national coordinators in India, like AICT, NPTEL, UGC, CEC, NCERT, NIOS, IGNOU, Indian Institute of Management Bangalore, and NITTR. So these programs are developed by these 9 coordinators of India. So when you come to the SWAYAM platform, you see that they have mentioned here 500 courses open for enrollments, and the SWAYAM course in the regional language. Here you will, when you click here, you will get the these programs offered by the various agencies, and as you see the completed courses. Then the ICT initiative of MHRD. When you click the ICT initiative of the MHRD, you will get the list of the programs like SWAYAM Prabha and EPG Pathshala, then MOOC, then spoken tutorial, then and this National Digital Library, and talk to teachers, MATLAB. All these programs you will see in this link. And this link, so now come to the MOOC. MOOC is a massive online open access courses. Here this you can see the source course list, and through the MOOC you can achieve the credits, and the credit will be transferred to your degree and diploma course. Already this letter has been issued by the MHRD. For all the university, the students can take courses from the MOOC. So this is the list of the MOOC programs. See here, SWAYAM courses, academic session for year 2019. Here, this is SWAYAM courses. You can see the list of the courses after clicking the button of the list of the courses, and you will find a lot of the courses offered by the MOOC programs. Like SWAYAM Prabha. SWAYAM Prabha is very important source for the students, learners. They offer 32 DTH channels devoted to telecasting of the high quality education programs, 24 hours, 70 days. And these channels are divided for the like see is higher educations. They have allotted channels to the IGNOU also, and the school educations they have allotted 9 to 12 level educations. Then curricula based courses and the assistant student they have allotted for competitive exams also. So this is the SWAYAM Prabha websites from where you can see the what are the channels available for the competitive exams. You can see the timing of the channels and watch in your television and update your knowledge, prepare for the competitive exams. prepare and see the course and learn for your course materials. This directory of open general access resources. This directory helps you to find out more than 14,000 journals, which included more than 4 lakhs, uh, more than 4 lakhs resources, 49 lakhs articles from 133 countries. So you can just go to the DOAJ and access the journal. This is the side of the directory of open access journals. Now, when we're talking about the directory of open books, this is also a part of educational resources. Here you can see that 28 more than 28,000 peer-reviewed books are available from 32 publishers. Anybody can download and access and for their study purpose. So now, when we are talking about the directory of open access repository, directory of open access repository means here you can see the list of the repositories of the world, not only India, and you can see which is repository is useful for you. And repository is a kind of storehouse where our researchers can deposit, a faculty member can deposit the research output, intellectual output, and share among the faculties, among the world, around the world. So this is the very important source, and anyone can download, access documents available in the various repository. Now we talk about the Srodh Ganga. It's very fantastic information sources in the open access platform. See, you can access this around 2,60,000 electronic thesis and dissertation available in the Srodh Ganga. And this is a very important source from you. From you can download e-thesis, learn how to prepare a thesis, what are the content in the thesis. Suppose if you want to do prepare a synopsis, if you want to do research, you can get thesis from the Srodh Ganga, and you can just analyze how to do research, how to prepare a synopsis, what are the content should be available in the inside of the synopsis, so you can get the idea of the research. So this is very important sources, and also you can eliminate the duplication of the research using this repository. So this is Srodh Ganga websites. Here you can see this shows that more than 2,60,000 theses are available, which you can download and use. Now this is a very important source for the live students. The judgment information system. The judgment information systems include the judgment of the Supreme Court as well as several High Court of the India. So through this system, anyone can download the judgment of the High Court as well as Supreme Court. This is a very useful source for the live students. This NPTEL, National Program of Technology Enhanced Learning, developed by the IITs and IIMs, and this is very useful programs for the engineering students and management students because it's useful programs for the students, and they can complete their coursework and they can learn from the videos, lectures, etc. See this NPTEL website. These are the institutions which has to develop the course programs. Now come to the Digital Library of India. Now it's known as the National Digital Library. It includes more than 48 lakhs resources in 10 languages. Anyone can download, use, and reuse. And these resources are freely available, and anyone can download and use for their study purpose. This is the National Digital Library of India. See here, they have mentioned here 14.8 lakhs, more than search for 14.8 lakhs resources, over 14.8 lakh resources in the 10 languages. And see here they have provided all this space for the COVID-19 research repository, featured collections, study at home. See how they have categorized the resources. E-Yantra under the NMEICT. The project was initiated by the IIT Bombay and sponsored by the MHRD. E-Yantra is only developed for the students and mostly for the college students. Students can join the project with free of cost at anywhere. So this is a very useful sites for them. Now see the EPG Pathshala. It's very amazing source in the educational stream. It has more than 77 subject course syllabus, which are very useful for postgraduate students, and you can download the PDF file, you can download the videos, and you can learn from the EPG Pathshala. It's very useful, very wonderful source, which I am also using this source for our PG students. So now come to the Indian Research Information Network System. This is also developed by the InfluMnet. It's very useful network service developed by the InfluMnet and in collaboration with the Central University of Punjab. The portal facilitates the academic research development organizations and faculty members, scientists to collect, curate, and showcase the scholarly communication activities and provide an opportunities to create the scholarly network. This is a free of cost software as a service to the academic and research development organization in India. So Indian Research Information Network Service is available as free software as service to the academic and R&D organization in India. So this is the website. See here, more than 32,000 faculty has associated in the Indian Research Information Network System, and they have uploaded about the more than 6,31,000 publications, and the citations of the publications is more than 83 lakhs citations are available. So this is a virtual lab. Virtual lab is also an initiative of the MHRD Government of India initiative. This is provides a complete learning faculty for the students, including text format, videos, lectures, additional web resources, animated demonstrations, and also self-evaluation. The virtual lab will also provide the student result of an experiment by different ways. So it's a very useful source for the students. See the virtual lab. Now come to the spoken tutorial. This is amazing open access sources for learners. Those who want to learn any open source softwares, which are currently most of the libraries are using, most of the educational systems are using. So you can just use spoken tutorials, and spoken tutorials will help you to learn software, practice it, and see the video, and through the video you can learn how to install the software, how to work with the software. It's very useful sources. If you want to learn for Joomla, if you learn for Moodle, if you learn for the Koha, Linux, etc., you can use this tutorials. Is very useful for you. Now come to this talk to a teacher. This is a very interesting sites, useful resources. Here this is developed by the IIT Bombay as a project, and here this side is categorized in three categories. First is category is for the series of talks of the PhD scholars of IIT Bombay. You can just click and access the talk. Then second talk, then the second category course, the view consists that course on view consists the courses which are recorded in the classroom of the IIT Bombay. The second category has the lecture of the faculties which are recorded in the IIT Bombay. So first is the PhD scholar talk, then second is the lecture of the faculties, and third one is the here is you can ask to the teachers, you can pose the questions, you can ask the student can access to selected graduate and postgraduate courses thoughts at IIT Bombay. And the third category is to ask the questions, which provide platform to the interact with the panel of instructors from IIT Bombay to ask the topic related to the electronic engineering and physics. This is a very interesting resources. So now come to the TKDL. This is very important sources nowadays in the COVID-19 situations. The TKDL. Traditional Digital Library is pioneer initiative of India to provide misappropriations of the country's traditional medicinal knowledge at international patent offices on which healthcare needs to more than 70% populations and livelihood of million other people in India in dependence. So this is a very important source. PKDL, you can see here. All the sources are available. So what are the advantages? I already discussed you. It's freely available, accessible, and it's very useful for developing countries. Limitations: open access publishing, quality open access journals. These are some resources which are very useful for the students. So the library professionals should come forwards and prepare the list of the open access sources and provide as additional collection to their users. So thank you one and all, and I hope that this is very important lectures. It's very useful for our young generations, budding professionals to know the open access resources and they can use for their learning, uh, study learning purpose. And I'm sure that it will be very helpful for your learning purpose. Thank you. Thank you, one and all.